Heading from the ground floor up the stairs, the first two windows are just openings. The next four are fitted with opening windows, and the first floor landing also has windows. Continuing up, the next two are openings, all the way up to the second floor. Where the second floor landing also has two windows. And continuing up yet again, there are no further windows. Right the way up to the penthouse. Sunday, the 25th of September 2022, a moderate to heavy thunderstorm. After approximately 5 minutes, some water has come through the front door, underneath the door. On the ground floor, there's a little bit of dampness which is caused by water falling down the open atrium, hitting the top of the wall and bouncing off down. However, it's totally dry into the first two apartments, A and B, around the entrance down to the cellar, the lift, and through to apartment C. Due to the direction of the rain and the wind, the ground floor to first floor section is currently dry. Just a few small drops of water on the outside. As can be seen, the windows are wet on the outside on the second two sections of the first stairs. However, the stairs are bone dry except from where I've walked down through water. And on the first floor landing, again The inside of the windows is dry. The only water there, again, is what's dropped down from the inside of the atrium, and that's just a light covering of water. You can see the rain falling down into the atrium, onto the patio. The entrance to the lift is bone dry at the moment. There's no water running down the steps. And likewise, the entrance to apartment C on level 1 is dry, except for a small amount of water from the opening to the atrium. Continuing upwards between floors 1 and 2, the first flight is starting to get wet. However, this hasn't come in through the southern windows. The return at the top of the first flight is starting to puddle. Looking upwards, the two windows facing towards the prevailing wind over towards Marmanor. The rain is landing on there, running in, onto the stairs and down onto the return. Continue upwards. Water is also starting to come in on the windows on the next section. However, when going to the inside of the windows on the landing, again it's bone dry all the way into the apartments. Just again a small section of water where it's coming down from the open atrium above. Most of the water is being directed over out through the outlet pipes there and straight down into the patio where it drains away. Again, the lift entrance is currently bone dry. The entrance to apartment C just has water that's come down from the open atrium again above. Continue upwards to the third floor level. Again, the first stairs are damp, however little water has come in from the southerly direction. Water is starting to pool on the first return, and is coming in from the easterly direction, the direction of the prevailing winds. The second return is currently dry. However, the window openings are starting to drip on the stairs. The landing on the third floor, which doesn't have any windows, is wet and flooding, and some of this water is the water that's dropping down onto the lower landings. Due to the direction of the prevailing winds, the actual entrance into the lift is a little damp, but there's no water pooling or running down into the lift. 30 minutes after the last video, it's continued to rain fairly heavily, but it's now clearing. The only water in the entranceway is that's come through the front door and down through the atrium. The entrance to the cellar is dry, the entrance to the lift is dry. The first flight of steps has started to flood. Water's come through underneath the windows openings. The second flight, bone dry where there are windows. The third flight, bone dry where there are windows. The first floor landing, bone dry where there are windows. Again, the only water there is water that's come into the atrium. The entrance to the lift, water starting to gather there. And again, this is mainly due to water that's come in through the openings on the first, second and third levels of the third flight. Inside the landing windows, bone dry again. Entrance to the lift, virtually dry, but continuing up, water that's come through into the upper level of the stairs. The first return is flooded. The second return is flooded. The third return is wet. The opening on the third landing has got standing water. However, the entrance to the lift is wet but not flooded, and across the AC patio is flooded.